Most professionals who start consulting after a corporate career undercharge, not by a little, but sometimes 30, 40, even 50%. And the painful part is they never really know. They get clients, they do good work, they think the pricing is fine, but it isn't. Undercharging by 30 to 50%. Here's what's actually happening. You divided your old salary by 2,080 hours, the standard full-time work year, and called that your rate. That calculation ignores the reality of consulting life so completely that it practically guarantees you're going to subsidize your clients with your retirement savings. Wrong math from day one. And there's a second problem. Even consultants who run the right baseline calculations stop there. They quote an hourly rate when they should be pricing outcomes. Those are two completely different conversations, and only one of them reflects what your expertise is actually worth. Hours versus outcomes. Welcome to Retirepreneur, where professionals 55 plus turn decades of expertise into income without risking what they built. I'm Curt, CPA and former CFO, and I'm building this alongside you. And if you're an experienced professional looking to turn your expertise into income, subscribe below so you don't miss a new video every week. And before we get into it, I bring a CPA and CFO lens to everything we cover here, but your situation is unique. Take what's useful, run your own numbers, and work with a qualified legal or financial professional on the decisions that matter most. Here's what we're covering. 3 things. The baseline formula that calculates your absolute floor, why quoting hourly rates undervalues what you actually bring, and how to test your pricing with real clients so the market tells you what your expertise is worth. Let's go. Before you can price correctly, you need one number. What's your walkaway price? The absolute minimum you can charge and still run a sustainable practice. Here's the formula. Take your target annual income, multiply that times 1.5, and divide by 1,000 hours. The result is your baseline hourly rate. Let me walk you through why each part of that formula matters. The 1,000 hours, not 2,080, reflects the reality of solo consulting. As an employee, someone else handled your business development, invoicing, contracts, and technology. As a consultant, you handle all of that on your own time. Benchmarks for solo consultants consistently show billable hours running closer to maybe 1,000 to 1,200 annually after you account for sales, administration, and the gaps between projects. Using 2,080 hours underprices your rate by more than 40% before you even start. The 1.5 multiplier covers what corporate employment used to cover for you. Self-employment tax runs, say, 15.3%, both the employer and employee portions of Social Security and Medicare. Health insurance before Medicare eligibility runs $600 to $1,200, and using my own example, almost up to $2,400 for myself and my wife. But of course, that depends on your situation. There is also no employer 401k match, and professional liability insurance, technology, and a modest profit margin of 1.5 is a conservative multiplier. Here's what the math looks like in practice. If you earned $120,000 a year as a corporate director, your baseline calculation is $120,000 times 1.5 divided by 1,000 hours. That gives you $180 per hour as your floor. That is not your rate, but that is the number below which you are subsidizing your clients with your retirement savings. Know the difference. Here's the problem with stopping at the baseline calculation and quoting it as your rate. The moment you put an hourly number in front of a client, you have invited them to calculate whether your hours are worth it. You have turned 3 decades of pattern recognition into a commodity priced by the clock. The consulting industry is moving away from pure hourly billing toward project and value-based pricing because clients want outcomes, not timesheets. That shift works strongly in your favor if you understand how to price accordingly. The principle is this. Problem scale determines the price, not time spent. 2 consultants with identical credentials can charge vastly different rates based on the problem they are solving. Let's say a consultant who organizes financial records might charge $75 to $125 an hour. But that same consultant who prevents a cash flow crisis and keeps a business from going under might charge $250 to $400 an hour. Same expertise base, completely different problem magnitude. Ask yourself one question before you quote any engagement. What is the financial impact of this client if they do not solve this problem? Your fee should be a fraction of that impact, not a reflection of how many hours you estimate it'll take. This is where experienced professionals have a structural advantage. You have seen these problems before. You solve them faster than a younger consultant would. Hourly billing actually punishes that efficiency. Project and value-based pricing rewards it. When you move to project pricing, the internal math still matters. Estimate your hours, apply your baseline rate, then add 20 to 30% for scope creep and the efficiency premium your experience earns. Present the number as a project investment, not a time estimate. A quick question before we get to the testing framework. Which of these describe where you are right now? Option 1, I haven't set a rate yet. I'm still figuring out what to charge. Option 2, I have a rate, but I arrived at it by feel, not by calculation. Option 3, I have a calculated rate, but I'm not confident I'm charging enough. Drop it in the comments. I read them all, and your answer helps someone else watching this. Your baseline formula gives you your floor. Your market research gives you a range. But neither one tells you what this market, your specific niche, your specific clients will actually pay. Only real conversations do that. Here is the diagnostic that works. After your first 10 qualified discovery calls, these are genuine prospects, not tire kickers, calculate your close rate. If you are closing 70 to 80% or more of those conversations, you are probably underpriced. Prospects are just accepting too quickly. That is not a sign that you are doing great. It is a signal to raise your rate by 15 to 25% on the next round. If you are closing 40 to 60%, you're in a healthy range. Competitive, but not a bargain, but keep testing. And if you're closing under 30%, do not automatically drop your price. Examine how you are communicating value first. Most consultants lose deals on positioning, not price. Are you clearly stating the problem you solve? Are you connecting your experience to their specific situation? On rate increases, unlike employees waiting for an annual review, you can adjust with every new client. Common triggers: after 5 successful engagements with client testimonies, when you are consistently booked above 80% capacity, and annually for retainer clients, typically 5 to 10%. One more thing on retainers. If your hourly baseline is $180 and a client needs roughly 10 hours of ongoing support monthly, your retainer starts at $1,800 a month. Predictable income, fewer invoices, less administrative friction. For professionals building a practice that complements retirement, retainer income is worth pursuing deliberately. And this is what I want you to take away. MIT Sloan research has found that a 50-year-old founder is 1.8 times more likely than a 30-year-old to achieve upper tail business growth. That finding comes from a peer-reviewed study, not a motivational poster. What it reflects is pattern recognition. You have seen economic cycles, you have managed crises, you have navigated organizational politics and solved problems that cannot be Googled. Clients are not just buying your time when they hire you, they are buying access to decades of compressed experience. That experience has a price. And the biggest mistake professionals make when they enter consulting after a long career is pricing it like they are starting over. They are not starting over. They are starting with everything they built. The 3-step formula we covered today is not complicated. Calculate your floor, price to the problem, not the hours, and test with real clients and let the market give you feedback. What takes discipline is believing that your experience deserves premium compensation. It's not arrogance, it's accuracy. You spent 30 years earning the right to walk into a room and solve problems other people cannot. Price it accordingly. Before I close, here's where you can stay connected. Subscribe to Retirepreneur for a new video every week and get my free expertise monetization blueprint at retirepreneur.com/subscribe. Keep building.